This is the 2023 Honda CR-V, fully redesigned for 2023, and we're going to answer the question today, is it the best crossover SUV? A lot of changes for the 2023 model year, including a 1.6-inch increase in wheelbase. That's from the center of one tire to the center of the other. The overall length from bumper to bumper has increased by 2.7 inches, and the overall width has received an increase of 0.4 inches. And if you are interested in a hybrid powertrain, these new CR-Vs are more hybrid focused than ever before. The hybrid powertrain is standard on the Sport and Sport Touring trim levels, and you will also find that all-wheel drive is standard as well. Being that this is the EXL trim level, this model is going to have the 1.5-liter turbocharged four-cylinder under the hood mated to a CVT. The engine makes 190 horsepower and 179 foot-pounds of torque. And something that I've never seen on a Honda before, this may very well be the very first model to have the hydraulic hood struts to raise the hood and keep it up. So you don't have to find that manual prop rod anymore that you have to put in place up here. Now, a very important question to answer, even though this is not the hybrid model, what are the MPGs? Let's take a look for ourselves. 28 city, 34 out on the highway, 30 combined, and 3.3 gallons of gas per every 100 miles you drive. So what size gas tank do you have to help that make more sense? Well, it's 14 gallons. Tire size comes in at 235/60. 235 on the width, 60s on the sidewall, this area right here. That's going to help improve ride quality tremendously. And then you have the gloss black 18-inch wheels. And if you like a little bit of chrome, well, you do have the chrome surround around the windows, obviously on both sides, and the rear roof spoiler. You're going to have the shark fin antenna up there. And if it were me, although it's not a big deal necessarily, I would conceal this rear window wiper away up here within the rear roof spoiler. Just my personal opinion. You can tow up to 1,000 pounds with this CR-V, and it has an increase in cargo capacity of 3.1 cubic feet. And something that is really nice here is that you can change the positioning of the floor right there. So you can actually raise that up a couple of notches or drop it all the way down. So that's good. What about overall cargo capacity? 36.6 cubic feet up to 39.3. And if you want to maximize cargo capacity, it is a fairly impressive number of 76.5 cubic feet when you lower both seats, as I have done right there. And the ultimate crossover SUV would not be complete without a spare tire. It does have that, as opposed to the tire repair kit that I know a lot of you don't like. And depending on who you are, or maybe where you are parking your 2023 CR-V, you might say, I don't like the position of that rear door. Let me show you how to change that. I'm going to lower this down right here, and I'm going to hold the button down and listen for the beeps. So when I close the door now and open it back up, you'll see that it will stop where I just set it, just then on the video. So in case you were wondering, there are easy options, or an easy option for changing the height of this power rear door. And taking a look in through the rear doors here, you can see that you do have some gloss black trim. So if you like gloss black, that's good. It's here. If you don't, well, sorry about that. You do have the door bends right here. It doesn't look all that deep. It's probably kind of hard to see down in there. I'll try and reach down there and show you with my hand, but you can see how far down that goes. You even have CR-V right here, the CR-V logo. So if you're wondering, where else is that on the vehicle or in the vehicle? Well, there's one place. And then we have the adjustable rear seats. Look at the recline that you have there. So that's very helpful for rear seat passengers if they want to recline the seats and take a nap. And also going to have the fold down armrest with cup holders built in. Let's see exactly how my arm fits on the rest. Well, there you go. You can see, as long as there's no cups in there, that makes it even easier, but still quite a bit of room. Kind of hard to tell, more so with the long sleeve on. You have the singular seat back pocket right here, and then On the EXL trim level, you will not find any connectivity back here as far as USB or 12 volt. Let's get that right. And then you will find, however, the air conditioning vents. And if you were hoping for a panoramic sunroof, well, you don't have that here. But I don't know that that's that big of a deal to people. Tell me what you think about that. Would you rather have the conventional size as Honda has given this 23 model, or have the panoramic sunroof that obviously comes a lot further back? And before we hop into the front seat, I do want to show you something in case you're new to these Honda models. You do still have the child safety locks located here on the rear doors. So a couple of things to note. If you are going to hop into the rear seat area by yourself out in the middle of nowhere where you don't have any help, make sure that these are not activated. So if they're in the up position, as you can see right there, they're not active. If they're in the down position like that, they are active. Just so you know, because there is no child safety lock feature here on the driver's side door, even though you might come up here and look for that. I know I can't show you everything there because there is the Tom Don't Roll Down the Windows. They have just been tinted sticker, so just letting me know what to do and not do there. But you can pretty much see everything that is there. Now, we're gonna hop into the driver's seat and let you see. Hopefully you could hear that as well. So you get a little bit of welcome music, I guess you could call that, I don't know. But it is there. Here is the instrument cluster and everything that you have right there. You're going to have seat memory, by the way, 2 settings for the driver's side. That's always a benefit. And overall, there is a lot here. You've got your steering wheel mounted controls, so that's always beneficial for adaptive cruise control, and then other features as well. There is that rarely used, at least here in Northwest Louisiana, blinker lever, turn signal lever. And you also have the controls for the headlights right here. If it had fog lights on the front end, that control would be right here. And one thing to note right here is your mode selector. You can see drive mode right there, so that tells you what that is. And here are your driving modes. Normal, and you can see the graphic that comes up on the screen. You also have Econ, and you also have snow. If you live in an area where it snows a lot, I would definitely recommend the all-wheel drive hybrid version, just because all-wheel drive makes a big difference in that area. And here is the infotainment screen. Very nice, very easy to use. In fact, it's really sitting up like it is to make it easier for the driver to keep their eyes on the road. If they have to look down at it, it's sitting up so high in this configuration that you can still easily see out of the windshield instead of being angled and a little bit further down like it was in previous generations. And you do have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility. You can pair your smartphone, which I have done. And the good thing about that is that that does give you your map functions and all that good stuff. My phone is paired here. Let's see if we can give you a good look at that. And here we go, we have we have our Apple CarPlay set up here. There is navigation. Now, you don't have built-in navigation here, but as long as you pair your smartphone, that's not going to be a problem. And the good thing about pairing your smartphone for 2023 on these models is it's wireless. You do not need a USB cable to connect down there to to pair your phone, because it is wireless. And here are your controls for your dual zone climate control. You also have the heated front seats. I mentioned that earlier. 3 different settings on that. Wireless charging for your smartphone. Another 12-volt power outlet right there in addition to what we saw in the rear. And for those of you who didn't like the shifter being up here, well, guess what? It's now down here in a more conventional location. And you don't have push button shifters here. That's a good thing, because I know a lot of you don't like that. And you can turn the auto stop start feature off. There's your hill descent control all that good stuff is there, power parking brake, and the cup holders, as well as a fairly deep console. This little tray is removable, by the way. And we'll put the CR-V into reverse because I really like what we have here. Nothing new really, but it does look nice. The multi-view camera system, and you have a few different options here with the camera. You can have the overhead view right here. You can see you've got your sensors around the vehicle. If you want to change the brightness, there is how you do that. Very nice looking, very easy to learn. It does have the sunroof right here, like I said, and it does open, so you can push that option or that button back right there and it will open the sunroof. And one more thing that I want to do, you do have an 8-speaker audio system here. What exactly does that sound like? Well, let me give you a sample. Okay, so I don't lose you, I'm not going to do too much of that, but just so you can hear what this 8-speaker audio system sounds like, and yes, I did tune on that a little bit to make it sound better as far as within the infotainment system itself, not in the editing process here. So it sounds really good. But one thing I mentioned earlier, I talked about how this CR-V has a better ride quality than it ever has before. Let's get out on the road and talk a little bit more about that and what it's like to drive overall. Okay. One of the best features about the new CR-V is the driving experience. The ride quality is great. It's still a very maneuverable vehicle, easy to get around. It's very nimble, very agile, a great turning radius. And a couple of things I didn't mention earlier. Obviously, you have power seats here in the front and a fully adjustable tilt and telescopic steering wheel. So that makes a big difference as far as being comfortable as a driver, obviously. And you might wonder, well, what about the experience with that CVT and 190 horsepower under the hood? How does all that work? Well, the Honda CVTs, at least the newer generation, seem to be, well, more well-behaved, better behaved, we'll say, than any I've dealt with before in the past. So that's a good thing. 190 horsepower seems to be plenty to get you around in the CR-V. It would be nice to have a few extra people in here as far as overall weight goes, maybe some cargo in the rear area, but I still believe it would be absolutely no problem. And obviously, being that you can get these CR-Vs in all-wheel drive, you have the multiple driving modes, including snow mode. With Sport and Sport Touring, you're going to get that. And that means that if you deal with a lot of snow and ice, well, you'll be able to get around just fine in that without a problem, as long as it's not 10 feet deep or anything like that. You know, a few inches, yeah, no problem whatsoever. That's a fact. So let's get out on the road real quick here, and we'll do a quick little acceleration test. Let's see how it goes. So we're gonna drop the hammer, if you can really call it that. So there we go. We're going a little faster than we should be right now, but it's all part of the test drive, so I don't want to hear any complaints in the comment section, but we'll slow back down. Anyway, you know, it's kind of an interesting thing. With the CVT being a single-speed transmission, it really kind of, your ear doesn't hear the gears changing. You don't feel the gears changing. So in a way, it's kind of like driving an EV. Without the sound of the engine, it does something to you as far as the actual mental experience, the physical experiences of driving a vehicle. So the reason I say all of that is with the CVT, it seems like it's not moving as fast as you want it to, but then you look down at the speedometer and realize, oh, I'm going faster than I should be. So that is good. The seats themselves are comfortable. They have the right amount of bolstering for what you need here. Obviously, this is not a high-performance vehicle, but the bolstering is there not only for comfort, but if you do feel kind of sporty, well, and you're driving spiritedly in your new 2023 CR-V, and you're making sure that when you change lanes in front of somebody, you're using that lever over here on the left-hand side. See, that's kind of funny. They didn't use it when they cut in front of me, but they used it over there. Okay, distracted by a bad driver. That's not hard to find in Shreveport. Anyway, comfortable. It's just comfortable. Everything here, easy to use, easy to learn. You know, I know there's a lot of people out there that have never had a vehicle with all the technology, the infotainment screen, being able to pair your smartphone, all of those great features and functionality, and you're saying to yourself, I just don't know that I'm ready for that yet. I'm scared of it. Honda is the best place to start for anybody in that position. So if that's you, check out these Honda CR-Vs. The infotainment screen is very easy to use, very easy to learn. And this isn't the largest one available. So depending on your situation, well, you can always get a larger screen, and it's easy to use and easy to learn, easy to see out of the vehicle. You don't have a bad blind spot back there when you look over your right shoulder, but obviously having blind spot monitoring built into these side view mirrors, well, it really eliminates any issues there whatsoever. But overall, driving this brand new, fully redesigned CR-V is a great experience. So now that I've done all my talking, it's your turn. Tell me down in the comments section, is the 2023 Honda CR-V the best crossover SUV? Give me your answer and tell me why you answered the way that you did. I gotta say a special thanks to my friends here at Holmes Honda for loaning me this CR-V for the day. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn about other vehicles, check out the video that is on the screen right now, and I will see you there.